Hey guys, Shutters and Triggers here. Coming at you with an actual review of the Ruger SP101. I finally had an opportunity to put a few hundred rounds through it, and I have some impressions and some thoughts about it that I figured I would share with you guys. Um, Before I get into this, I've been thinking a lot about how I want to structure firearm and knife and stuff like that reviews, because the fact of the matter is, um, I don't need to tell you guys anything about this particular gun that you can't learn, from a different channel, from somebody that puts more rounds through them than I do, and who knows more about it than I do. However, I can offer you my opinion, and just kind of give you an idea of um, what kind of role this gun would play in a average gun owner, gun user's lifestyle, carry situation, what have you. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do a review. I'm not going to talk about weights, and I'm not going to talk about finishes, and I'll talk a little bit about accuracy, but just as it applies to me. Um, so so yeah, the Ruger SP101, as you know, is a 5-shot 357 Magnum revolver made by Ruger. The only thing I'm going to mention about weight is that it weighs 26 ounces unloaded. It's fairly heavy. I have found that I have been able to carry it on several occasions without a lot of discomfort or problems. Um, Primarily using the Remora holster here. This is with the reinforced mouth that I will talk more about later. I'm going to do a video on holsters. Um, but this is a double action, single action revolver. I believe that they come standard from Ruger with a. I'm just adjusting my focus here. They come standard with Ruger with a 12-pound trigger, and then you can do trigger jobs to adjust that. Um, they have a push-button cylinder unlock mechanism. So that's about it. You can see it's dirty. I have shot it as recently as yesterday, but yeah. Um, I when I bought the gun, I bought it used. It came with gold dot 38 special plus P rounds. These are 125 grain 38 specials. These are great. I like gold dot. I don't have any problems with them whatsoever. However, I was in Knoxville recently, and I swung it into a gun shop, and I found these Remington. Remington Golden Saber 357 Magnum rounds. When I carry, I typically have these. When I leave it around the house, just as the home protection gun, I put the 38 specials in there for my wife to use. But overall, I have found the gun to be incredibly accurate. I have distinctly found, and I'm going to roll some footage in while I'm kind of talking about this, but I have found that I am noticeably more accurate with it in single action. I kind of tested myself by not keeping track of the count, so I pull the trigger the one extra time before I realize it's empty, and I can watch my flinch at the end of the capacity of the gun. I can see how I react when the trigger breaks, and there's still a pretty pronounced flinch when I'm in complete double action. When I'm just shooting from single action, when I'm just shooting from single action, I was getting groups that were incredibly tight, as you can see on the target. They were probably 2-inch groups from a good. I don't know exact distances, but it was a good self-defense distance, in my opinion. So that was cool. Like I said, I've been carrying in the Remora holster here, which has worked out really nice for me. It has kind of this grippy surface on it, and I was concerned about a gun of this weight really sagging down in my waistband when I carried, but that hasn't been an issue whatsoever. I have found it to stay in place, and as I've talked about in previous videos, you need some retention on this. You need some pressure from your gun belt in order to have a good seating of it. But I well, I'm going to talk more about this holster in different videos, so I'm not going to go too far into that. But this is how I've carried it. I carry this on just on off days when I don't feel like my Glock 26. But it has been, as most revolvers are, perfectly reliable. No reason why it wouldn't. The recoil was surprisingly manageable. I have shot my dad's old Smith & Wesson Model 19 or something like that, and the recoil in this gun was actually more manageable than that. I attribute that to these kind of squishy, like insole insert-ish grips, and I am contemplating getting the Hogue grip that's a little bit longer. However, I can get, and keep in mind that I have relatively small hands, but I can get a full hand grip on this revolver. So, let's see, what else? Accuracy is good. Reliability is, of course, good. I typically, when I carry this, it's got a capacity of 5, so I carry with 5. And then I either have a HKS speed loader. This is the model number 36. Or, if you'll hang on, I will also shove some of these Bianchi speed strips into my pocket. These are a little bit easier to carry than the speed loaders. If I'm wearing like the Maxpedition Tech Light Pro shorts or something like that that I reviewed previously, these are easy to stick in the cargo pockets. But if I'm not, if I'm just wearing jeans, you can see that the 357s ride really well in these speed strips, as I will show you. They will nestle right in next to your cell phone, like so, and they're relatively easy to reload. For those of you that don't know, because I had no idea, the way that you effectively reload with a speed strip is when your cylinder's open after you've ejected your spent casings. You take this and you put the first 2 in, like so, and you peel it back. And then you put the next 2 in, and you peel it away, and you put the last one in, and you peel it away, and you're good to go. It is faster to use a speed loader, less steps. It's just 1 step to get it all done. But you know, it goes back to that whole, you know, it's better to have it on you than to not. So a speed loader, for those of you, once again, for those of you that don't know, not a lot of people shoot revolvers anymore, but it's just a simple twist and drop, and you're good to go. So let me show that to you again. But like I said, in cargo pockets or something like that, these speed loaders are really nice. Otherwise, sorry, I'm kind of bumping the tripod here. Otherwise, see, it's just boom, twist, shake, and you're good. Just like that. And you can get really fast at that. This being my first revolver that I've ever owned, am not that fast yet. And you saw how it's like 3 steps, how it's peel, twist, peel, and then peel to get all of those in. But these are easier to carry. That way you have 10 rounds on you. Let's see. People would question the 5-round capacity. You know, you're only carrying 5 rounds. Is that going to be enough? Here's my thought process on it. I carry as much ammo as I can comfortably. So with the Glock 26, if I'm wearing cargo shorts, I will carry another magazine in my offside cargo pocket. If I'm not, then I don't carry that magazine because it would be uncomfortable in my cell phone pocket. It would lead me to leave the whole system at home, so I just don't stress about it. With the Glock 26, however, I'm working with a magazine of 10 plus 1. However, on my Glock 26, I have an extension, so it's 11 plus 1. The other gun that I carry typically is a Car CM9, and that has a 6 plus 1, I believe, capacity. So now you're starting to get into the same realm as the 357 Magnum. The Car shoots a 9mm cartridge. This shoots a 357. Now, with a speed loader and this loaded, I have 10 rounds of 357. With the Car and a separate magazine, I would have 13, 6 plus 1 plus 6 rounds of 9mm. You know, most self-defense situations are going to be resolved within 3 to 5 shots, I feel. I mean, if you're getting into the wild, wild west where you're going to need 30 rounds, you know, I've seen people on YouTube that are carrying Springfield full-size, 2 extra mags. There's no need for that, I don't feel. Maybe in a situation where you are without rule of law or something along those lines, but if that was the case, this would be my backup gun to something larger. So I feel perfectly confident with having the 5 rounds plus a reload, or even even if I'm not carrying this, like if I'm just running to Lowe's or something in the afternoon, just 5 rounds would be enough. I mean, 1 round from 357 Magnum shot correctly would be more than enough. Excuse me. So so yeah, that's kind of it, guys. I have had, I'll run some footage kind of interspersed in this video of me shooting this, and you can kind of see the recoil and the accuracy and stuff like that. Keep in mind that I'm a new shooter. I feel like my accuracy is getting better, but I am by no means a highly accurate shooter. So what you see is a good casual gun owner, casual gun shooters, real life experience with the SP101. If you guys have any questions about it, feel free to hit me up, and I will try and answer your question to the best of my ability. And if I can't, I will research it and answer your question that way. And yeah, I'm also looking for those of you that made it this far into the video, if you guys have suggestions of stuff you want to see from a gun review, let me know. And I want to kind of tailor my gun reviews to that. I'm shooting with a head cam now, so you can get kind of POV footage of me shooting. I also have another device called a magic arm that will allow me to get kind of side perspective of me shooting. So if there's something else you guys want to see, if there's a test you want me to perform with the gun, something along those lines, just let me know. I'm open to all suggestions, and I will try and accommodate you guys as best as I can. Thanks a lot, and this is Shutters and Triggers signing off.